does he raise it against me? Ulysses asks Calypso why his son is not Telemachus, but another son, is holding up a spear against him. To kill you, of course, and so death will come to you from the sea at the hands of your own son. For you angered the god of the sea by wounding his son, and he does not forgive, he meaning Poseidon. She tapped the log and the fire died. Do you still want to go back to Ithaca, she said. Will my future be different if I stay here? Certainly, if you stay with me, it will be entirely different. You will no longer be a mortal man. I will make you my eternal consort. Make you immortal. You will not die or grow old. This will be your home. Not only this island, but wherever the Titans rule. So he can be there, he can go to other places where the Titans rule. Never die, never grow old. It seems impossible. You are a man to whom impossible things happen, said Calypso. Haven't you learned that by now? Never, said Ulysses. Always. These are words I find hard to accept. Never, always, these are words I find hard to accept. Do not think you will be bored. I am expert at variety. I deal in transformations, you know. I can change our forms at will. We can love each other as lions and lioness, fox and vixen, touch high as eagles, twine as serpents, be stallion and mare. We can fly and prowl and swim. You can be a whale once and seek me deeply, or a tomcat, perhaps weird voice burning the night, crying murder and amour, and then we can return to this bowered island as Calypso and Ulysses, goddess and hero. So she is trying to convince him, she's trying to entice him, persuade him that he can be with her in many different forms for him and for her. She can convert them into whatever he and she wants to be converted. You are eloquent, said Ulysses. Eloquent means very well spoken. You've got great words, great vocabulary. That's what eloquent means. And you need no eloquence, for your beauty speaks more than any words. Again, he's flattering her, probably to try to get what he wants. Still, I cannot be immortal. Never to die, never to grow old. What use is courage, then? Calypso smiled at him. Enough discussion for one night. You have time to decide. Take 5 or 10 years. We are in no hurry, you and I. So she wants to put off the discussion because she can put it off forever. That's just what I said. Oh, sorry. 5 or 10 years may seem little to an immortal, said Ulysses, but I am still a man. It is a long time for me. That's just what I said, said Calypso. It is better to be immortal, but think it over. The next morning, instead of hunting, Ulysses went to the other side of the island and built an altar of rocks and sacrificed to the gods. He poured a libation of unwatered wine and raised his voice. So Ulysses is talking to the gods now. O great gods upon Olympus, thunder-wielding Zeus and wise Athena, earth-shaking Poseidon, whom I have offended, golden Apollo, hear my prayer. For 10 years I fought in Troy, and for 10 more years have wandered the sea. Been hounded from island to island, battered by storms, swallowed by tides. My ships have been wrecked, my men killed. But you have granted me life. Now, I pray you, take back the gift. Let me join my men in Tartarus. For if I cannot return home, if I have to be kept here as a prisoner of Calypso while my kingdom is looted, my son slain and my wife stolen, then I do not wish to live. Allow me to go home, or strike me dead on the spot. So he's asking them to let him go home, to help him work this out with Calypso and let him go home, or die right there on that island. His prayer was carried to Olympus. So he was praying to the gods, and his prayer made it up to them. Athena heard it. She went to Zeus and asked him to call the gods into council. They met in the huge throne room. As it happened, Poseidon was absent. Kind of ironic. He had ridden a tidal wave into Africa, where he had never been, and was visiting the Ethiopians. Athena said, "O Father Zeus, O brother gods, I wish to speak on behalf of Ulysses, who of all the mighty warriors we sent to Troy has the most respect for our power and the most belief in our justice. 10 years after leaving the bloody beaches of Troy, he has still not reached home. He is penned now, penned meaning stuck, penned in, stuck on an island by Calypso, daughter of Atlas, who uses all her titanic enticements to keep him prisoner. This man's plight challenges our justice. Let us help him now." Zeus said, "I do not care to be called unjust. I am forgetful sometimes, perhaps, but then I have much to think of, many affairs to manage. And remember, please, my daughter, that this man has been traveling the sea, which belongs to my brother Poseidon, whom he has offended. Poseidon holds a heavy grudge, as you know. He does not forgive injuries. Ulysses would have been home years ago if he had not chosen to blind Polyphemus, who happens to be Poseidon's son. He has paid for that eye over and over again," cried Athene. "Many times its worth. I vow," meaning I promise. Circle that right over here, promise, I vow. And the earth shaker is not here, as it happens. He is off shaking the earth of Africa, which has been too dry and peaceable for his tastes. Let us take advantage of his absence and allow Ulysses to resume his voyage." "Very well," said Zeus. "It shall be as you advise." Thereupon he dispatched Hermes, the messenger god, to Ogygia. Hermes found Calypso on the beach, singing a wild sea song, imitating now the voice of the wind, now the lisping, scraping sound of waves on a shallow shore, weaving in the cry of heron and gull and osprey, tide suck and drowned moons. Now Hermes had invented pipe and lyre, and loved music. When he heard Calypso singing her wild sea song, he stood upon the bright air, ankle wings whirring, so the little wings around his ankles, fluttering and moving in the breeze, or moving, entranced. So he's being hypnotized by Calypso. He hovered there, listening to her sing. Dolphins were drawn by her voice. They stood in the surf and danced on their tails. She finished her song. Hermes landed lightly beside her. "A beautiful song," he said. "A sad song." "All beautiful songs are sad." "Yes. Why is that?" "They are love songs. Women love men, and they go away. This is very sad. You know why I have come, then." "Of course. What else would bring you here? The Olympians have looked down and seen me happy for a little while, and they have decreed, or said, or commanded, that this must not be. Said or commanded, put that in the margin. They have sent you to take my love away. I am sorry, cousin," because they're cousins, "but it is fated that he find his way home." Fate, destiny, what are they but fancy words for the brutal decrees of Zeus, the brutal laws of Zeus? Fate and destiny. He cannot abide that goddesses should mate with mortal men. He is jealous, and that is the whole truth of it. He wants us all for himself. Don't deny it. When Eos, goddess of dawn, chose Orion for her lover, Zeus had his daughter, Artemis, slay him with her arrows. When Demeter, harvest wife, met Jason in the plowed fields, Zeus himself flung his lightning bolt, crippling him. It is always the same. He allowed Ulysses to be shipwrecked time and again. When I found him, he was riding the timbers of his lost ship and was about to drown. So I took him here with me, cherished him, and offered to make him immortal. And now Zeus suddenly remembers, after 20 years, that he must go home immediately, because it is ordained, meaning it is ordained means it's written that way. That's what's supposed to happen. You can't fight Zeus, said Hermes gently. Why try? What do you want me to do? Permit Ulysses to make himself a raft. See that he has provisions, then let him depart. Depart means leave. So be it. Do not despair, sweet cousin. You are too beautiful for sorrow. There will be other storms, other shipwrecks, other sailors. Never another like him. So Calypso's really going to miss Ulysses. That's what I would write over here. Who knows? He kissed her on the cheek, then flew away.